All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris M. Cloutier from MediaFreshPress.com. This is Nathaniel Brennis from OneMoreCupOfCoffee.com, and you're watching another episode of Fresh Coffee. This time we're going to talk about affiliate marketing. Hopefully we'll get into a little bit of email marketing stuff. Nate's going to share with us all the low-down dirty details of what happened in Vegas.
Uh-oh.
And it should be a great show.
Sorry, I was just adjusting my mustache there. It looks. I had a beard in Vegas. Damn it! And that left-right thing keeps. I like keep looking for the left side. It always looks weird on camera.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's odd doing it this
it's like
way.
having a caterpillar on my face.
I just want to like vroom to it.
Yeah. Damn. I'm getting all self-conscious. Anyway, enough
Wicked.
about the mustache.
It's wicked. You should be proud of a mustache like that.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, most of the comments I get about it are from guys. Like, walking down the street, guys are like, nice mustache, bro. So I'm like, I don't know if that was, like, a real comment or they were being a smartass.
It's a bro stash.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Vegas.
Yeah.
So Vegas was great. It was nice to meet everyone. That was, like, the big thing for me was that I could actually talk to people who knew what I did for a living.
Mm.
And it's like, oh, I increased my conversions by 5%. And everyone's like, whoa, how'd you do it? Whereas like you tell that to someone in the normal world, they're like, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. How many people went this year?
Um, I think 6 or 7 went, but there was a few more that were invited that didn't make it. A couple people were sick, and then um, some people had some family stuff and business stuff. So I think total people that made it to Vegas this year is probably about 10, and I think 6 actually showed up, or maybe 7, including Kyle.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was good. I always come back from Vegas really inspired. Because we talk about lots of ideas about how to grow traffic and how to improve conversions, and you talk to people about what they're doing on their website. You're like, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll try something similar, or even just the process of like talking about what didn't work.
mhm.
Then sometimes you're like, oh, okay, well maybe I'll try this, next year. So these past couple days, I've been like making all these changes to stuff that I've had before, and I'll talk about that later. But I've seen some improvement in conversions since,
Yeah.
so that's pretty exciting. And then I have a whole plan of um, what I want to do in the coming months as far as content goes.
So yeah, like I have so many questions. I like it. Anytime when really in any industry, affiliate marketing or whatever it may be, when you can get leaders, a lot of leaders together in one space. I'm always curious to know, like what was different from last year. What were some key takeaways and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff just really interests me, especially when it comes to affiliate marketing and online marketing in general.
Oh yeah. So what I have written down here is the one thing that we talked about a lot, which may make sense, and I hate I hate to even say it because it's one of those buzzwords, but I'll explain it so it doesn't sound so douchey. Uh, is engagement. I know that's one of those things I rip on people for, like, oh, they talk about engagement, like, who cares? Um, but practically speaking, I have an action plan of what I'm going to do to actually do this engagement. So the big thing, I mean, this is, specifically we're talking about as WA affiliates, but you can use this in any aspect of your business, I think, is uh, getting people to talk to you.
Mhm.
Like, if you are selling a service, the more that you can get people to talk to you, the more you have a chance to kind of show them that you're a real person, show them that they can trust you, show them that they can ask you questions. Because a lot of people don't even like breach that thing. For me at least, it's easy to forget that I'm just a picture on the screen to someone. Like I see people's pictures all the time, and I don't really care what they're doing or who they are. But the more that I talk to people, the more I become more animated, where people can see more aspects of my life and maybe even relate to me on some fronts. And then, that one time where they're frustrated or they're confused for whatever reason, and they can say, like, I'm really having trouble with this. Can you help me with that? And I think specifically in, the make money niche, that's a huge thing is getting support. But I believe you could translate that to all kinds of different niches. If I was in the beer niche, and I mean I am in the beer niche, so if I was talking about the beer niche, um, maybe someone wants to ask me a question about a recipe, and they send me an email, and then I give them advice on the recipe. That may not translate into a sale there, but they're going to remember my website, and they're going to come back and maybe look at more of my recipes. They're like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe we'll look at more of those recipes. And then the more they're on my website, the more they're like, okay, well, he recommends this as well. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, so I mean it's hard to do that though, really, to get engagement on your site. So, but you're right. Like, I'll just take my dad for example. They run a software as a service type of thing, and those chat boxes that you can get that when people land on your site they pop up and they're like, hey, how you doing or whatever.
Yeah.
He installed one of those, however long ago, less than a year ago. But he says it boosted his conversions by so much that he would never get rid of it. Never.
Really?
So, yeah. So yeah. I mean, getting people to talk to you, like you said. I guess, like you said, It's hard to I guess feel like you're real until they actually talk to you or see you for real.
And it's I think it's hard sometimes to measure how that turns into sales. Like especially if you're on Twitter, like people engage in Twitter all the time, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to convert to sales. Like it's just people talking crap sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you kind of have to go at it with a bit of a strategy where you're like, okay, well, this is how I want to get people to engage with me, and this is how I want it to get them into my funnel so that it turns into revenue. Because a lot of people, they just want free information. I mean, which is fine. That's like what happens on the internet. But you can't be, the free information resource when you're trying to run a business.
Yeah. So what were some tips or whatever they talked about for getting more engagement?
Like really talking to people as soon as they come on the website. So as soon as they create a profile, you want to respond to their profile, and you want to pick something that you can relate to. You really want to ask them a question. Be sure like you check in on how they're doing. Did they get stuck building a website, or are they stuck choosing a niche? Because a lot of people get stuck on that and they don't realize that they can reach out to you. Yeah. So if you're the first person and you sort of take the reins and say like, do you need help with this? Not everyone will respond, but you'll get more people to respond.
That's a good point, man. You talking about creating a profile on WA on Wealthy Affiliate?
Yeah, when they create a profile on Wealthy Affiliate. So like the more I build one more cup of coffee and get involved in Wealthy Affiliate, I'm on WA like all day. So when someone creates a profile, a lot of times I'm there within like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and that like instant engagement where they're still on the website, and I've responded to their message, and they're like, okay, well this dude obviously, especially if I respond to something in their description, like, okay, this guy's real, he's actually using the website. Uh, Maybe I'll investigate further. Again, these are like specific steps related to what I'm doing, but hopefully whoever's watching can kind of think about that in regards to their niche, because you can do the same thing with email. If you're building a list and someone sends you an email and you're on your email 2 or 3 times a day, if you get an email response in 12 hours or 5 hours or whatever, they're going to be more liable to respond to you and recognize your name next time you're in their inbox. Because a lot of times, look, people get smart. The more lists they sign up for, they're like, oh, this is just automated. Even if you make it real personal and put their name in there, they're like, okay, it's just a robot. But if you get that one time where it clicks, like, okay, there's a real guy sitting at his computer looking at his email, next time they get a autoresponder email from you, they're like, okay, if I respond to this, there's a real guy who's going to talk to me. I think at that point you become a real person.
I was listening to something the other day, and the guy, for one of his first messages, he asked people, what are you reading? And this is different because a lot of a lot of online marketers will ask, what areas are you struggling with? Stuff related to that. But he'll ask a question that's unrelated. What are you reading? And it gets them to respond, and he responds back to him, and it's a more, like you said, it's a more human connection. It's a more friendship type of relationship because they're not talking about, like I said, what's going on the website or in business or anything else. He just kind of gets them to talk like friends are talking. I thought that was pretty smart.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that kind of relates to this story about being friends or having that friendly connection with people is that I had someone drop off the other day who canceled their account, and the reason was she said that I disappeared after she signed up, and like I hadn't. I was still there. I didn't know she needed help. I looked for some of her posts, and I saw that she was blogging within Wealthy Affiliate. And I had seen the blogs, but they were like inspirational stuff, like, oh, do good on your business, 2015, hoorah type stuff. I thought, like, well, I don't really need to respond to that. Like, I'll let the community deal with that, because I didn't have a response. I see that stuff all the time. But she canceled her account after a month because she's like, where is this guy? Now, maybe she didn't understand that she should have been building a website, and she thought that her business was the W blog, and she was like, why is this guy not commenting on my stuff? Why does he not care what I have to say? There was obviously some confusion in there somewhere. But if I had continued that engagement and followed up and responded to some of this stuff, then she would have still been a member. Or at least I could have caught it and said, like, because I found that some people get confused where they're like, okay, I'm building a blog, and they start blogging inside Wealthy Affiliate thinking that that's their business. So maybe I could have caught that a little bit earlier. But that loss of engagement lost me the repeat sale.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. People join WA and they get kind of confused on where to start next. Even though there's a lot of training there on the side, I guess it's easy to confuse that blog with another blog.
It's easy to forget how it was like when you're a new member. Like, I recently joined this real estate website, and I joined up and like, I actually don't know what I should do next. There was a forum, and there was a paid part, and there was a podcast, and there was all this stuff, and I was like, I do this for a living, and I don't know where to start. So someone who is just getting started, I can understand how, even though we do our best to help people get started on the right foot and whatnot, I can totally see how people get confused.
Yeah, I sometimes I think that being able to put yourself in that beginner's mindset when you're creating not just content on your blog, but just laying out your blog or anything that you're doing, I sometimes think that is, one of the most important things you can do. I don't want to say the key to success or whatever, but I think that's pretty important because it's so damn hard to do. To really, it's almost like a programmer has to, when they're building something, they have to think of every little thing that might happen or that somebody might try. You almost have to put yourself in that same kind of mindset and try to figure out what does a new visitor coming to my blog think. How can I get them to where I want them to be? And that's really difficult to do, especially if they're unfamiliar with marketing and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I I noticed you got trying to get up early down here.
Yeah, which is like sacrilege. My whole website is based around the idea of getting up late.
All right.
But I come back from Vegas all inspired, and I bought a book and then I forgot that I bought it. I introduce it here.
Yeah.
The Morning Miracle. Which
Yeah.
have you heard of it?
Yes, I have heard of it.
So I actually bought a couple books. I bought this one, The Way of the Navy SEAL, or The Way of the SEAL, which is like a leadership thing. And then I bought, that one's okay. This one's pretty good so far. The One Thing.
Who's that by?
That is by Gary Keller with Jay Papasan.
The One Thing. Yeah, I think I've heard of both of those, Morning Miracle and The One Thing.
The One Thing is a bestseller. I haven't finished it. So far, the premise is like if you focus on one thing, then you're going to get it. So you basically need to work out in your mind what that is. I'm not completely sold on the idea. I understand how it works. Like my focus now is building one more cup of coffee and getting traffic to it. So that's all I do. That's what's going to happen because I'm going to work through the mistakes and it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're like, I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, you kind of fail at everything. But that was pretty good so far. It's nice and small, easy to digest. But the Miracle Morning is, some of it's kind of weird. Some of it makes sense. It's like you go to bed with a certain mindset and you wake up with that same mindset is the best idea I've gotten from the book so far. Like when you're a kid and it's Christmas and you go to bed thinking about Christmas and you wake up and you're like, it's Christmas. Like you're ready. It doesn't matter if you slept 2 or 3 hours. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
So as an adult, if you get in your mind and you go to bed where you're like, I'm gonna wake up refreshed. I'm gonna wake up inspired. Then that's supposed to work. It hasn't so far. I did one morning where I got up. That's when I wrote it in the notes. I'm like, I can do this. That was 2 days ago, and I got up at 7. And then the day after was 8:30, and then today was 10. So.
I know that we don't. We kind of make fun of this kind of stuff, but I actually want to talk about this a little bit because. For one thing, I think this is the guy that talks about, I think in one part of that book, because I heard an interview with him. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm like doing dishes and stuff because, I'm a single parent, so I have lots of time to listen to podcasts. But I think this is the guy that says no matter what time you're getting up in the morning, get up 30 minutes earlier. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. Anyway.
It might be, but I haven't gotten to that part yet.
But, so I've been... when school is in, I have to get up at like 6, 6:30 at the latest. I was getting up at 5:30 before we moved here. And, I find myself, if I get 8 hours of sleep, because I have to get 8 hours of sleep, but my days are so much better, man, when I get up early and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking about getting up at 4:30 to start my day because I'm a nighttime guy. I'm a night owl. I love being up at night. I love just kind of everything at night is better to me, and that's what keeps me from getting an early start. But I'm thinking if I start going to bed earlier and I can get up at 4 when it's still dark outside, it may have the same kind of effect. Because like I said, I'm getting up at 6 or 6:30 now, and I'll take my son to the bus stop and I'll come back home and have my coffee and believe it or not, man, I can write and it just flows out of me. So I'm starting to think that the morning thing is actually important. I'm actually doing stretches and stuff like that first thing in the morning, and just trying to get my morning going. So I think there's something there for sure.
A lot of successful people do it. A lot of top CEOs are like getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I think it's the peacefulness. Everything's quiet outside. It's still dark, so it's kind of like night. You just need to move your night a couple hours instead of 1 to 3. You got to move it from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a different level of productivity. Like I find I can be productive at night, but it's much more frantic. Like I got to get this done before I go to bed because I didn't do anything today. Where I think in the morning you're like, all right, I'm gonna get this done, and then I'll enjoy the rest of my day. So it's a different mindset.
Yeah, frantic is a good word. That's exactly it, man. Because writing at night, I'm like writing. I'm like, yeah, this, I'm kind of putting the words down, and it's good, and I like it. But in the morning, it just seems like the vocabulary just tends to be there, whereas at night, I'm kind of forcing it because I want to get to the point where I feel like I need to get to, even if I'm just writing for myself.
Yeah, I can see that. The hardest thing for me is I wake up a completely different person than when I go to bed. I
Mhm.
go to bed, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get so much done tomorrow, and I wake up and I'm like, actually, I don't have to do that much today. And so I wake up at 4. It's just getting that like first step out of bed, which is hopefully what I can learn from this is how to overcome that mentality. Um, I think one theme that a lot of these books have in common, and the more you read self-help books, especially back to back, you start to see some things that they all kind of have in common. One of them is ritual. Like if you have a certain way that you can train yourself, if you get up and the first thing you do is brush your teeth, and the first thing you do is tell yourself, I'm going to be a millionaire, or whatever. You have this ritual you go through, and then you can, um, that way you don't start skipping days, because you start doing it and then you make excuses like, okay, this is 1 day off, okay, this is 1 week off, and before you know it, you're doing it less than you're actually um, you're not doing it more than you're doing it.
Yeah, for me, that's the hardest problem about all of that stuff, that ritual thing, because the whole reason I like marketing and content creation and SEO, or even the most analytical parts of online marketing or entrepreneurship, I like the fact that I can do something different. So
Yeah.
creating a ritual for a creative person, I just hate it. I don't like the idea of getting up every morning and doing the same thing because I hate it, man. I just want to I feel like the day's going to be new. Although I do understand the importance of a morning ritual, I think just that thing in my mind keeps me from actually doing it.
Yeah, no, I can totally relate to that. Then you're like, why am I doing this? I'm working at home so I can wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, that sucks. That's worse than having a job.
Yeah, yeah, way worse. All right, enough of the self-help stuff today.
Yeah,
I find it odd that you're reading hardcover books, though, man. That's hardcore.
I gotta do it. If I'm on the phone, it's like checking my email is one tap away. So
Yeah,
the other one I read was Millionaire Fastlane, and that was on my phone, but it was a nightmare because I was reading and I was like, I wonder if I have an email now, and I wonder if I have an email now. Actually, it's
yeah,
been 10 minutes. Maybe I made a sale. Let me check. And so with this, I can get away. At least put my phone in my pocket and get it a little bit further away from checking stuff.
yeah. You need a Kindle, man. I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver.
I might have to get one.
But if you get a Kindle Fire or whatever the new ones are, whatever they are, it's just like a phone, so you have the same problem. So just go get one of the cheap ones like I got, man. I paid like $30 for it.
They
It's
are
one,
cheap.
yeah, it's one of the old ones. There it is. One of the old ones, man. You can't do nothing else on it but read.
Yeah, I might have to get one of those.
All right, where are we going now? We've totally derailed this show. So
As usual.
yeah, that's what makes it fun though.
Um,
Just checking the notes here.
all right, so what do we got for the future of affiliate marketing?
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I thought maybe I keep wanting to call it a conference, but you know, we gotta put a name on that. Anyway, I thought maybe the the conference that you guys just had, might have talked a little bit about the future of affiliate marketing and stuff like that. I just find it odd that not a lot of people use the term. I mean, we know a lot of people that do, but um, a lot of people don't consider themselves affiliate marketers yet. They use a lot of affiliate links, and they even have affiliate disclaimers. Like, I've been talking to a lot of like self-publishers. They don't consider themselves affiliate marketers yet. They're doing the exact same thing. It's pretty crazy.
So like self-publishers, like they're writing books,
Yeah,
like Kindle books.
yeah. Kindle books and that's just an example. I mean, even people like people here on Google Plus that consider themselves to be speakers or whatever. If you go to their site, they'll have an affiliate disclaimer, and I just find it odd that I guess they don't want to call themselves an affiliate marketer. Maybe that's it, but um, I just think if people like freelancers, speakers, anybody really who has a website would go and learn a little bit more about affiliate marketing, just a little bit more, then they could even, they could improve that secondary income because they're obviously using affiliate links and stuff as another stream of income, yet they don't really say that.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Um, yeah, I wonder if maybe affiliate marketers have a bad name. Um,
Maybe.
maybe they just like the sound of being called something different. Um, maybe they don't even know, like they know it's called an affiliate link, but they don't know that people do it full time.
That was my big thing. That's what my question was. I wonder if that's what it is. They don't realize that there's like a whole industry out there like that.
But I think you're right. If some of these people with like good traffic stats did more research into affiliate stuff, then they could probably do a lot better. One of the niches I'm in, um, which was about China, I haven't really done much with it since. It's been about two years, and I was looking on YouTube and found some videos, and I was like, these are some awesome videos. My videos get like 300, 500 views, something like that. This guy had like 15,000 views, and he only had 6 or 7 videos. I was like, dude, why are you not doing this more? And he had his own site. It was about China. It was like a China news site, whatnot, and that's what he was busy working on. I was like, I guess everyone has different goals, but because he had really good videos, lots of views, he had to be making some good income off of those links. Because I make okay income, and I barely have any views. And like if he would just focus more on the affiliate side of stuff, I'm sure he could make a lot more money.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, man. I guess like you said, they just don't realize it's out there or something. I don't know, but I just find it odd. I don't really know what I plan to say on this topic. It's just something that I've been noticing more and more lately.
I think some people are maybe hesitant to be a salesman. Right? They're like, oh, I don't want to sell stuff, so they almost do things to not purposely prevent people from buying, but it's like they put every roadblock block in place
Mhm.
to that's like they're dropping off sales along the way, so that they're like, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'll make some money if I have to, or if it's convenient for you. Otherwise, I don't want to sell you anything. So they're like, big old affiliate disclaimer where it's super obvious, and then they'll put affiliate link in quotes, and then um, they'll give you free options as well. I mean, which is good. It builds their brand, but I'm sure it drops a lot of sales. I'm not saying you got to be sneaky about it, but I'm saying there's a different balance that they could achieve.
Yeah, I just with there's so many opportunities now, man, and I think there's more and more coming. Um, as an affiliate marketer, so it just seems like I don't know. There's a big world of opportunity. Anybody that's in any niche that's doing anything, whether you're speaking or like you said, making videos or repairing cars, you've got an opportunity to bring in probably at least a pretty decent side income off of whatever your specialty is. So
If you got a website and got traffic, you can do something with affiliate stuff.
yeah. Um,
Do you think there's a going to be like a saturation point? Like I always think of affiliate marketing as being kind of infinite in the possibilities of selling and traffic, but do you think everyone in the world could be an affiliate marketer? Like,
yeah, definitely. I think if there is a saturation point, we've already hit that. Like you, how can I put it? You know how like if you got a buddy that's looking for something like I don't know I'll just keep using the car reference. He needs work done on his car, and you say, "Yeah, I know a guy. It's your other buddy." So you just kind of connect the two. I think that's going to happen. I mean, because everybody's on Facebook now, it's becoming more and more, mainstream. It's more traditional. So yeah, I think people will be on Facebook and they'll see their friends say, "Oh, I need a cool new hat. I'm going out tonight," and they'll be like, "Oh, here's one," and they'll blast them a link. I think it'll be totally acceptable. At least I hope it will be.
yeah, like I was just thinking, one, I was thinking that'd be pretty fast delivery to get a hat for going out that night. You'd have to get
Yeah.
Amazon. Did you see Amazon is doing the same day delivery stuff in like New York? They've got couriers.
No, I didn't. That's awesome.
They've got people on bikes, same day delivery, where it's like you order toilet paper or diapers or whatever, and some guy on a bike will ride to your house and get it to you within an hour or two.
That's smart, man. I mean, bike messengers have been around for a while, so I'm surprised Amazon's only just now thinking of that. That's pretty cool,
Um,
though.
but yeah, I don't think that there is a saturation point, but I think if more people get involved, that it'll change. Because I mean, think of like 500 years ago, everyone kind of had to have a skill or trade, and it was like you had the blacksmith and you had the I don't know, wood chopper. I don't know if that's a job, but like people had these skills and they would either buy stuff with money. Money was just like a means of um, basically trading skills. Or sometimes you just, I'll give you that, what's that called, bartering. And so if you think of it like a website thing where everyone's connected online and everyone is able to make recommendations based on their expertise, I guess the large companies will be the conglomerate. They will be the rulers of everyone, and then our own business will be just based on recommendations. I run a homebrew website, and you run a motorcycle website, and we connect. I have an interest in motorcycles. You have an interest in beer. Somehow we connect online. You're like, "Oh, bro, I need a new tailpipe. What do you recommend?" And I can pass you an affiliate link. And that's kind of, or the opposite. I got mixed up. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally see that happening, man. The only thing is that I keep hearing talk about the cookies. Did Amazon recently change their cookie duration?
I thought it was always 24 hours.
Oh, okay. I heard it was changed to 24 hours. Anyway, they're not the only affiliate program. I was just but yeah, I think eventually that's where everybody will go, man. I really see that happening. As long as the cookie thing
Yeah.
doesn't get overcomplicated.
There's actually ways. I have an affiliate program that they don't even use. I don't know how they do it, but they don't use affiliate links. somehow they've got my website set up so anyone that comes from my website, no matter what link they use, that I get credit for.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like what those learning management systems use. I don't know anything about it, but I know like you can go to one page on the site from different pages and you'll see different stuff, even though the URL is exactly the same.
Hmm.
So I don't know what it is, man, but that's probably what they're doing, whatever that's called.
But yeah, I think you're right that the affiliate programs might evolve where now some have 30-day cookies, some have lifetime cookies. As it gets more competitive, they may start saying, okay, well, 24-hour cookies, where it's like, okay, if you make a recommendation, it has to be a real recommendation, like someone's got to want to buy today. Um, Otherwise, it's like the cookie's just hanging out, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's the future of affiliate marketing is bright. I definitely think because we've had a problem, uh, not necessarily in regular affiliate marketing, but like in CPA and stuff like that. There's been a fraud problem. I guess there's a fraud problem in every area of marketing, but I think that is going to get a lot better too, because everything is getting more secure. Almost every website now is going to have the SSL certificate, so I think things are going to be way more secure, and that'll help affiliate marketing, I think.
Yeah.
What about I want to get into email, man, but I see your notes down here about the branding thing, so that's my thing lately. What's up with that? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so that's what I kind of alluded to in the beginning,
Mhm.
where I was talking about improving conversions. Um, I don't like to speculate too much on why stuff happens because somehow I always prove myself wrong. I'm like, oh, I changed this and it helped. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, I realize, well, it was just the numbers of that time. Like, I used to have a landing page that converted to email subscribers at like 31%. And then I changed it to a blog page, and it was 23%. So I was like, all right, landing like squeeze page works better than a blog page. And then I left the squeeze page up, and then conversions just kind of kept going down, and they met at 23%. So blog page, squeeze page, same conversion rate. Um, it wasn't that much. I got all excited, and then it was basically the same. But so far, the changes that I've made since I've been back from Vegas was basically putting my face on more stuff, which is kind of sketchy with me because I have so many different looks where I've got like normal guy, and then I've got beard guy, and now I'm mustache guy. So I think it would work better if it was your same face across all things. But I put a video up on my review, which seems to have helped convert to free members and maybe affecting the paid member things. Um, I put my picture on a few of the opt-in pages. They have a new thing where you can put your face on, do like a custom sign-up page with your face on there. It's like, hey, this is Nathaniel. You're gonna sign up for this, blah blah blah. Um, where else did I put it? Oh, I put my face on my actual review page where I was like, this is me, look for me inside. This is the picture you're going to see. I've been showing up more on people's profiles and in chat. And again, this is specific to what I'm doing, but I have a feeling if you have that same consistency, no matter what your niche is, that it's going to be more effective. Again, because you become a real person. You're like, you mentioned something before where you're like, oh, someone has to see a link 6 times before they click it, and there's some statistic like that. Maybe someone has to see your face 6 times before they're like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about, or they remember you at least.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. And that I hate that like the face thing because I'm so self-conscious about taking pictures or videos and stuff. It's like amazing that I'm able to do this because I hate that kind of stuff. Like, but I see it. I see other people do it on their websites, and I know it works. I'm always telling my son like I've got to get more photogenic so I can put myself on my website and stuff, because it is important. And Media Fresh Press right now, I'm all about everybody branding themselves, and I think that's where it's at. But it's so difficult for me. But I definitely agree with you, man. Putting your face out there more, um, and it could be the same thing as a link, like your statistic thing there. It could be something like that. Maybe they land on your website, but they're afraid to trust you until they see your face 6 times. It could
Or at
be.
least they recognize me. Like, it may be that they just skimmed through my review and they join and they see my welcome and they're like, who is this dude on my profile? Just some random guy. Whereas now they're like, oh, I kind of recognize that photo. Like, he's got a different look, but I think that's the same guy. They're like, oh, how's it going? I remember you.
Right. Yeah. So, are you gonna start putting it on your website more? Are you gonna go out and like get shots done and stuff like that?
That's the other thing. Is like, what do you think would convert better? Like professional, corny, glamour shot, or like a random shot on your computer where it's like fuzzy and you've got pizza stains on your shirt. And you're like, what's up?
Yeah. No, not the pizza stains, man. I don't think that works anymore.
Because one of them is more real, like a candid shot, and then one of them is like, I do this professionally. And I think both have their advantages.
Here's what I think, man. I think anyone, maybe I won't say anyone, I'll say for myself. It seems like for myself, the best pictures that you can get are when somebody else has taken them randomly, like,
Yep.
so, and that's hard to do. I don't know. I think that it's good to have pictures where you're obviously sitting at your desk and stuff like that. But it's just, I think the best pictures you can get are when you're in your natural thing, whatever you're doing, whether it be working or hanging out. But it's almost a higher effect to up on you and take randomly.
I think we lost you a little bit there.
Oh, really?
Still there?
Am I gone?
We have audio, or I have audio. Video is kind of choppy.
Oh man, figures. Let me
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I went for a little bit of both with my new review style, where up at the top I have a picture. It's not professional, but it's higher quality camera. It's like a family photo, and I'm like, okay, this is me. It looks nice. I got a nice shirt on, and then I edited one of my recent edits is that I put a picture of me. I did a selfie of me sitting at my desk working. So a little more casual. You can see my desk is kind of messy, and I tried to get a little bit of both vibes. Like, all right, like I'm not a complete dirtbag, but like this is me in my natural state, and I think it seems to be working so far.
Cool, man. I have to check them out. Yeah, I think that's good to do, man. I've been wanting to do that for my website for so long. Like the pictures I'm using everywhere are so old, man. Like they're just ones that I think I made my mom scrounge them up from like a photo album years ago or something like that. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And I always try to translate stuff to other niches other than the make money or even the like um, branding yourself type niches where like inspirational speakers, that type of stuff. Um, so a good example is this guy, I've talked about him before, Billy Brew,
Mhm.
where I like his email marketing campaigns. I like his blog. He doesn't blog very much, but when he does, it's really good. Um, and recently he sent me a video. It was the first video he ever sent of him doing like a DIY project where he was turning his fridge into like a kegerator. And it was the first time I had seen him in live action, and his speaking manner and his movements were a little bit different than I imagined. But at that moment, he became more of a real person. Now every time I see his photo, I have more of that connection where I'm like, okay, I know what this guy talks like or sounds like. I know how he like moves as a person. So there's that personal connection there.
That's interesting, man. That you say like his mannerisms were different from what you expected. Because that's almost like, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. You're reading his blog and stuff, but that's almost like how people feel when they read a book and then they watch a movie. You know, things are different, or when they
Yeah.
see the book's character in real life, it's totally different from what they expect. So I think that says a lot for the type of bonds that you can create on a website. Um, that it actually made you notice his mannerisms, that you had an expectation, I guess, of what his mannerisms would be. That says a lot, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully, if you do it, hopefully it improves your conversions. Because like when I saw, you never know. You may give people a good impression, and then you're like a weirdo, or you have like you talk, maybe you have some weird speech things or whatnot, which
Which
is
is,
tough. You know, not everyone is comfortable on camera, but I think if you know your topic, people can see through it. Because like, I hope he doesn't watch this, but when I saw his photo, he looked kind of dorky, I guess. I was like, what does this guy know about brewing? He's like clean cut, wearing a button-up shirt, like, all right, Billy Brew, like whatever. But when he talked, he was very like confident about what he said and very casual. And I was like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe I'll listen. And so you can kind of, I think it can work for you or possibly against you. But I think anyone who has knowledge in their niche and practices can probably do a pretty good job.
yep, I agree with that. Um, that's kind of the reason why I don't have my stuff everywhere. I don't do, because I want to do more videos and stuff like that. Uh, but I'm afraid that my mannerisms are going to have the opposite effect of what I'm already doing. Am I cutting out again?
No,
Oh, okay. It looks like it
I
on
was
my
I was
end.
just sorry. I was nodding. I was silently acknowledging, like, yep, I gotcha.
It looked like I was cutting out on my end, but yeah. Anyway, that's all good stuff, man. I've got a lot of new ideas for posts now and stuff like that. I'll be writing a lot about that.
All right, yeah. So what's up with this email stuff? There's one thing in there I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh, really?
Lead
Uh,
magnet. What's a lead magnet?
oh, I was trying to, your ethical bribe or whatever, your Steve
Okay.
book, whatever that is. I've been trying to really get a grip on my email lately, man, and it's just getting away from me. I'm getting more subscribers than I ever have, but I'm trying to do something different. I don't want to just send them, here's my new blog post, or here's my new blog post. But the problem is, that's what they've subscribed for, a new blog post. So I'm trying to get them out of that element, and I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a good series and keep them engaged, but I'm wrestling with Aweber. I don't really understand Aweber. I sent out a broadcast a couple times that went out like the same day or the next day as one of my follow-up series. So it's just brutal, man. I've been having good luck getting people on my list, and for the most part, they're staying. But if I keep going like I am, I'm gonna lose every one of them. I just don't. I'm just not good at I guess mapping out an email sequence and using Aweber properly. I'm just terrible with it.
It's tough. I think you kind of got to go in with a plan. Like one mistake I made getting started is that I thought I'd just update whenever, like send out an email blast.
Mhm.
But then I realized, because I wanted to keep it timely, I wanted to be like, all right, this happened recently, send that out. But it's like you start off with such a small list, then anyone that jumps in afterwards, a year down the road, they're not going to benefit from that that email blast you sent out. And then it's all manual, so that's a time thing there where you got to worry about how much time it's going to take you. It's almost like you got to have two lists. One with a sale in mind, like a sequence where you want to take people through and say like, all right, step one, two, three, and at the end the sale. That's your funnel. Where you got another list where it's like, all right, here's blog updates.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you do two, you're like, all right, here's my RSS feed, and then here's my email list. If one is going to cannibalize the other.
Yeah, and another problem with that is that Aweber's, their RSS blog broadcast, I think it's called, whichever one works off of RSS, it's terrible, man. It's ugly. It's just brutal looking. I hate it, man. I'd almost rather do them all manually, but then I don't know. I'm just having a real tough time with Aweber. Yeah.
It took me a while to get used to it. I didn't use it for a long time. I use it a lot more now, and yeah, I don't know. I've gotten I like them. One thing I did that was cool that took me a while to figure out is a template. Like in the drag and drop builder, you can. To be honest, I don't remember how I set it up originally, but actually, I want to screen share this to show. So my thing with the face consistency, this is what I'm trying to do with the email list as well. Let me screen share here. Make sure I don't have anything. I have always got this paranoia that I'm going to screen share one day and release some like public information. It's like I accidentally pasted my credit card information on my desktop for some reason, and I screen share. I know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right.
All right. So can you see that?
Now I'm seeing. Oh, there it goes. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, I had someone make this for me, where I've got my logo, I've got my header set up, and then I've got my footer set up. So every time I click the create a broadcast message or add a new email, this template pops up. So all I got to do is edit. So every time they open an email, they're going to see, every time they see an email, they're going to see the subject line OM2C, which is one more cup of coffee. And so that's going to be in the subject line, so they know it's me. And my name's going to be there. It used to be one more, I forget if I changed it from one more cup of coffee to Nathaniel, or Nathaniel to one more cup of coffee. I think I changed it to Nathaniel to be more personal, but I can't remember. Anyway, so they got the name, they got the subject line, and then they have the top of the email, all of which is going to be familiar. And I don't know how well it works, but the idea behind it is to have this consistency. They know who it is, they know who to expect. They know when they open that email, there's going to be something good in there.
So the OM2C, is that something you're manually going to put in, or is that because of the image or something?
No, that's just the subject line. That's just what I like, the short name for my email list. Like a lot of people will. I didn't invent this. I've seen it before, where people put like an acronym for their website in the subject line so that it identifies them. If my subject line or if my blog was called "Make Money Online" and call it MMO.
You're not concerned with like losing any of your space for a good converting subject line, or you're just
I hadn't considered that. I guess it does take a couple characters out of there, but I try to keep my subject lines pretty short.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Anyway, that's that.
So is that going to be part of your follow-up sequence, or are you using that for blog broadcasts, or are you just using that for everything?
I use that for everything.
Cool.
Sometimes with broadcasts, like with Black Friday stuff, if I'm doing a big Black Friday promo, I'll mix it up so that people don't get blind to it. They're like, it's that guy again. I'll change it, but most of the time I try to keep it consistent.
Let me ask you this while we're at it, man. When you do a blog broadcast, let's say you got a Black Friday or whatever, you're going to go ahead and set up a broadcast to your list. Is there even a way to do it? I don't know, but do you separate like maybe people that are still going through the first part of your sequence, or do you just let them all go no matter if they've just received a message or not?
I don't think there's a way to do that.
Okay.
I haven't done that.
So you just let it go.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing I had to get comfortable with this year is I was really worried about annoying people. I was like, oh my God, I can't get in their inbox and unless they really, really want me there.
Mm.
And then I just thought, I'm running a business here. Like, if if people are really that irritated, they can unsubscribe. You're gonna hit some people on bad days. They're gonna mark the spam button, or some people are just gonna ignore you or delete it or whatever. And that's just kind of how things roll.
Yeah.
Um, you can't. One thing I had to really get comfortable with this year was realizing that I can't please everyone, and sometimes as a business owner, you got to kind of push to get those sales. And if you provide value, if you're, and again that's a buzzword, if you deliver on your promises, then people should be happy with what they get. But sometimes they need that little extra push. Like I bought into this real estate website, and it was $300 for the year. And the reason I bought in, I mean, it was a Black Friday sale that I bought into, but they had sent me a couple emails before, and I kept saying, "Oh, okay, I'll sign up, whatever." And it was that last email that was like 5 hours left, where I was like, "Okay, I got to do this right now." And if they hadn't pushed me, I wouldn't have signed up. And I'm glad I'm signed up. I wanted to get it, but they needed to do that extra thing. Or I bought a bunch of beer stuff online, and that was like I had to be reminded. It had to be in my inbox.
Cool. That's
Otherwise, I wouldn't have checked their websites. I wouldn't have gone like, all right, so Black Friday, I got to make the rounds. Like I would have just gone, maybe just gone to the first site and said like, all right, this is a good deal. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a problem that I'm struggling with right now is I'm trying to balance out being not annoying and stuff like that. My problem is I don't feel like I've given enough value to my list yet because I haven't made a good sequence, a good follow-up series. I had one, but like you said, here it is a year later, and I just don't feel like what I've used in that follow-up series is relevant to people, uh, or is as good as what I can put up there now to new people signing up. So I want to go in for the sale, but I'm just not ready to do that yet. Personally, I don't feel like I've given them enough value to do that yet. But I can see when you do how you have to, kind of be persistent about it.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't do everything for free. You do some stuff for free, and you got to sell some stuff, and that's kind of the road you got to go down. And if people don't like it, that's fine. They can unsubscribe or they can ignore it. Everyone has a choice. They can say like, okay, this is a promotion, and they're not gonna like go and find you and knock on your door and be like, stop sending me those emails. Um, and then for every one person who's gonna complain, there's gonna be if you do things right, there's going to be 10 people who are like, all right, I'm glad I got this. So you got to kind of um, talk to the people who want to hear from you rather than worry about the people that don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I have gotten a couple of emails lately, just that made me feel a lot better, thanking me and stuff like that. I was like, cool, man, that's awesome. That's a good feeling when
Yeah.
somebody thanks you for your messages. So. Uh, all right, man. Well, we're coming up on the hour. You got anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Um, Not really. I did, not that it applies to anyone in the show, but uh, I did buy this awesome thing this week that I'm surprised that even like I thought they were out of them. I thought they weren't going to have them anymore. And when I was in Vegas, I got an email about it that they were in stock, and I bought two of them uh, immediately through PayPal on my phone. I was like, I gotta get it. And it's used whiskey barrels that you can and this that you can put your beer in. So I don't know if you've ever seen they have barrel aged beers where
Mhm.
they're aged in different stuff that age them in like brandy barrels or wine barrels or whatever. And you make the beer and then you transfer it to the whiskey barrels or whatever barrels, And because it's wood, the wood kind of expands and contracts with the temperature in the day, so it takes on some of the flavors. But normally these things are like 30 gallons. But this one website has 5-gallon whiskey barrels, so which is exactly what when you brew a batch of beer. This is the size of beer you brew. So I was shocked that they had them, and I got 2 of them. So now I'm gonna try to make some whiskey barrel aged beers, which is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds really good, actually, man. Yeah, I always like the way that wood soaks up the flavor and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be really good. You'll have to keep us updated in the community and stuff about that.
I will. I will.
All right. Well, I am gonna go eat dinner and try to get in bed so I can get up at 4:30. We'll see how that goes. It's not gonna go well.
All right, man. I'll look for you at. Oh no. Well, if it's 4:30 your time, yeah, it's about when I'll be going to bed my time.
Right. That sounds about right. All right. Yeah, I'll make a post on Google Plus as soon as I get up tomorrow morning at 10:30.
All right, man. I'm holding you accountable.
All right. See you guys next time.
Later.